Okay, so the first one that we want to talk about is something called shoulder surfing. Now, shoulder surfing is, as you might guess, looking over someone's shoulder as they type into a keyboard or perhaps put a pin code into a keypad, and it can be done within close proximity. In other words, someone can actually literally be shoulder surfing, standing behind you, or if they're in a position where they can view remote cameras, whether it's authorized within the company or something that's perhaps placed unauthorized, they can use that remote camera to zoom in and watch what's being typed on a terminal or a keypad. So when you combine this with a skilled social engineering attack, it's very easy to trick someone into entering credentials into a website or an application, right, and so forth. The social engineer will strike up a conversation with that person, with the target, ask about their kids' sports, or where they're vacationing, or what their favorite pets or animals, or perhaps maybe the car that they drive. And people are always very willing to talk about themselves. Oh, glad you asked. Let me show you a picture of my kids, or let me show you a picture where we just took a vacation last week, right? So as they do that, that person can then shoulder surf and see as they log into Facebook or log into a social media website to bring those pictures up or to show that person, what have you. Or they may pick up their phone and put in their password on their keypad, and the person can, of course, watch that. So the next thing you know, the person goes away to the bathroom or they step out of the room for a minute. Now that person has access to their phone and can pull information off that phone because they watched them put their password into that keypad. I wouldn't necessarily go this far and knit yourself your own privacy screen. However, very effective, right? But not necessarily the most fashionable thing. So some mitigation steps. We can look for privacy screens, and everyone has seen these before. They're basically pieces of plastic that if you look straight on, you can see fine, but if you look on an angle, it obliterates the person's view. So it limits that viewing angle. So you really have to be directly in front of the computer or the terminal to actually see what's being typed. Additionally, make sure from a company perspective that your systems mask passwords so you don't enter them in clear text, right? That will eliminate someone being able to shoulder surf and at least see what you're typing in by reading the screen. It's even more effective if the application will put in multiple asterisks per keystroke, right? Because that will further obfuscate the length of the password. That way the person, if they happen to be shoulder surfing, can't determine how long that password really is. And then we have technical controls that we can put in place, such as cameras to monitor doors, sensitive areas, keycard access points, and so forth, right? So if someone understands or thinks they're being watched or monitored, they're a lot less likely to act in a malicious fashion.